Southern Virginia University for today's women's volleyball match featuring the Royals of Eastern Mennonite University and your Southern Virginia University Knights. The Southern Virginia University staff thank you for your support of the student athletes and coaches participating in tonight's contest. The NCAA and USA South Athletic Conference promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or intimidating actions directed at coaches, players, officials, or any other team representatives will not be tolerated in our grounds for removal. The consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages is strictly prohibited. Thank you, and please enjoy today's game. In accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we will begin with a word of prayer, which will be offered by Sophia Bonnell, a member of the SVU women's softball team.
Dear kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we're thankful that we can be here today to participate in the volleyball match. We ask you that both teams may be safe, that no harm or foul may come upon any of them, that they may enjoy the game that they're playing. Please bless us all that we may remember why we're here to support and to share the love of the game. We ask that you please bless that everyone traveling may be safe, and that as everyone leaves to go home, that they may also be safe as well. We are so thankful for them. We love thee and say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Now, if you will all please rise and face the flag for the playing of our nation's national anthem. For your starting lineups, starting for the Royals, at middle blocker, freshman number 3, Emma Rogers. At middle blocker, senior number 5, Kenley Smith. At outside hitter, freshman number 8, Logan Trichetta. At outside hitter, freshman number 9, Jada Parker. At center, senior number 10, Mackenzie Taylor. At middle blocker, junior number 12, Lindsay Bly. And at libero, freshman number 2, Felicity Jones. The Royals are coached by Casey Steinbrecher and assisted by Hannah Roberts. And now, starting for the Knights. At center, freshman number 1, Talia Quinn. And outside hitter, sophomore number 3, outside hitter, freshman number 8, Emma Broadbent. At middle blocker, junior number 16, Ryan Bale. At middle blocker, sophomore number 23, Summer Hahn. At outside hitter, sophomore number 26, Aubrey Packer. And at libero, senior number 6, Gracie Fulton. The Knights are coached by Debbie Baker and assisted by John Baker, Logan Baker, and AJ Cooper.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Southern Virginia University Women's Volleyball. Tonight we're in Knight Arena, where tonight's matchup will be between Eastern Mennonite University and your Lady Knights. Thank you for joining us. I'm Colby Camp, and joining me on the call tonight will be Cece Bands. Cece, the Lady Knights are the defending USA South champions, and so far this season it's been, we could say, a mixed bag of results as they come into tonight's matchup against the EMU Royals with a 4-3 record. What do you expect to see out of this year's version of the Lady Knights?
Yeah, I think there's so much that we can expect to see. I mean, there's many players that are coming over this year that are returners, but at the same time, when you have this new fresh batch of all these new girls that are new to SVU, to really just, it's always interesting to see what they're going to bring. And also, yeah, their season so far has been a mix. Like, they're 4-3 thus far, but there's so much more to come.
Absolutely. Their most recent result being a 3-1 loss at the hands of number 9 ranked Washington and Lee. You know, kind of the crosstown rival. They went over there. A pretty good performance, but they came up on the short end of that. But I'm sure, you know, with this being the home opener, they're going to be excited to show what they bring to the court this season.
Oh, for sure. These home openers, they always bring that energy. And I mean, there's all the players that are going to be here. There's all the students that are going to come to watch. It just brings that energy.
Absolutely, and we are ready to get started here. EMU with the serve. And first kill of the night goes to number 16, Ryan Vell. She's a junior out of North Logan, Utah.
Yeah, we always love to see that, just that early start, immediately coming in, just taking that down immediately.
And the serve there by Ann Downs sails a little long. That will even the score at 1 apiece.
Yeah, especially as we speak about energy, there's two sides of it. We can have that good energy that's going to come that brings the excitement, but also it gets you a little nervous and you kind of hit the ball too hard and you're not exactly sure how to react.
A little dump there by Talia Quinn. Talia is a freshman out of Orem, Utah, by way of Mountain View High School. Sophomore Gracie Fulton back to serve. Kill by the Royals.
Yeah, just barely with that receiving error right there. You always got to be able to just, one, be ready to accept, but also sometimes know when you got to let it go.
And the Royals unable to handle that hit. Ball will fall to the floor, and the Knights will go ahead 3-2. First chance to see Lucy Richens tonight, Cece.
Yeah, it's definitely her moment to come in with that serve, which gets over and clears that perfectly.
Ryan Vell gets the kill.
Yeah, and Lucy Richens, as we were just mentioning her a second ago, she has made a large impact thus far on this season. Already with 18 service aces, she comes in and she knows where she needs to send that serve.
That's number 9, Jada Parker for the Royals, scoring the point. Knights thought that was going to sail long, but it just caught a piece of the line there in the backcourt. And just a little touch there by Emma Rogers scores the point for EMU.
Yeah, and Downs almost got that dig there. They were hustling in for that save, but didn't quite get there.
Claire Reichenbach serving for the Royals. That one into the net. You mentioned earlier, Cece, a little bit of that nervous energy, something that all athletes have to deal with.
No, exactly. That's something that you have to be able to control, how to use it to your advantage, especially.
That'll be a point for the Royals. Gracie Fulton dives in an attempt to save it. Just not quite able to get there. Jada Parker serving for EMU. And there's Summer Hahn going for the double. Got a set there from Richens, and EMU was able to dig the first one, but it came back right over the net. Summer was able to put the kill down.
Yep, came right back to her, and she knew exactly what she wanted to do there.
First look at Daisy Oviedo, and her kill sails just a little wide. Little back and forth here so far, Cece, between the two clubs.
Exactly. That's what we love to see, is when they really get these volleys going back and forth, because one, you're seeing the skills of both of these teams, but also how well they can defend on both sides.
Substitution for the Knights, checking in number 8, Emma Broadbent, and number 1, Talia Quinn.
Talia Quinn back on the floor for the Knights, along with Emma Broadbent, two freshmen. Quinn back to serve. Blocked there by Ryan Vell.
Some of that great defense coming in from the Knights is what they're really going to be able to use tonight. Because as they put up that wall, that's what's going to really prevent anything from the Lions from really getting over onto SVU's side.
Yeah, speaking to Coach John Baker just before the game, he mentioned that this team's a very good defensive team. They have two blockers in the top 100 for the nation. That's Summer Hahn and Ryan Vell. He mentioned one of their struggles is staying in system then, as they receive serves and staying in system as opposed to just kind of playing by ear.
No, exactly. You always got to be able to just figure out what's going on and how to act and react to each of these things that happen.
And Downs attempts to hit cross court, and it sails a little wide. Back square at 8 apiece. Knights with the point to go back up top. And Downs will go back to serve. And Downs, she is a sophomore out of Kaysville, Utah, but she spent her freshman year at New College of Florida. And that is number 12, Lindsay Bly, pulls the block by the Knights. And that will draw the Royals even at 9 apiece once again. Just to finish that thought on Ann Downs, she led New College of Florida last year in kills with 116 on the season.
Yeah, that's something that Coach Baker can she can use that, because honestly, having one of these players that comes over to your team, it's knowing exactly how they want to utilize them, but also have them benefit their team as they come into this culture and mix into the culture as well.
Absolutely. Coach Baker, I'm sure, was happy to find an offensive player like that to transfer into the program. A little bit of experience. Fulton back to serve. Good defense there by the Knights, but the hit by Packer, once again, just a little wide.
Even then, though, we can see the strength that she was going up with that and the determination, and that's one of the skills that both of these teams have. We can see as they go up for those kills, that they've had a lot of experience doing this and really working on trying to do that.
Packer and Hahn collide there at the net. Packer is up, walking around. She's able to tell Coach Baker that she's good.
One of the few times that we see volleyball being a true contact sport.
Serve by Felicity Jones, sells long for the Royals, so 11-11 as we continue to see neither squad thus far able to get more than a 1-point lead on the other.
It's been fun to see just thus far, even in this first set, both of these teams battling and going back and forth and seeing what their strengths are. Because we can look at all the statistics, but it's always fun to see in real life what each team can execute.
Point for the Royals.
Number 13, Caitlin Custis.
Service error by the Royals. And now Aubrey Packer will go back for the Knights. And that serve sells just a little long. So both teams struggling a little bit to find consistency in the serve here early on, Cece.
Yeah, just as we even mentioned, the going back and forth is probably setting them both up, kind of messing a little bit with their mojo. Exactly. Okay, how do we get a flow going with both of these sides?
Emma Rogers with the block for the Royals. Richens to Hahn. Hahn pulls the block. Point for the Knights.
That's one of the hard things about volleyball is you kind of have to know when you want to do that soft touch versus go in with that powerful hit. And the Knights there knew exactly that they needed to not hit it quite as hard, but also that they needed to back away from that defensive hit coming from the Lions.
Richens with the quick set to Ryan Vell. And the Knights tie the score back, 14 apiece. Perhaps some of that nervous energy is to blame for some of the service errors here early on.
Yeah, we can just even see as we're looking at the numbers, really. SVU has 4 of those service errors, while EMU has 3. And that number is just going back and forth. Like the score is just everything here tonight. But that energy, you can totally just see it's coming out for both of these sides.
EMU with a 2-point lead now, 16-14. And Downs gets the point.
I would not want to be on the receiving end of that hit. The arm that she hit that with was perfect, and that strength, that was strong.
Knights looking to gain a little momentum here now. The home opener, all 7 matches prior to this one, been played outside of the barn. Ryan Vell once again. Knights tie the score back up, 16 apiece.
I totally agree with you, Colby. When a minute ago you said that the Knights were really trying to build that momentum, we can even just see they're trying to change this game, how it's going in their direction, even just now immediately with these last few plays.
And there's Aubrey Packer coming in from the back line with a strong kill. Yeah, it starting to feel like the Knights are building a little bit of that momentum, getting comfortable here inside their own arena. Just as I say that, Talia Quinn knocks a serve just a little wide.
You could even see in her face as soon as she hit that, she knew that that went off the side of her hand a little, not quite how she wanted it to.
Looking to be maybe a little too exact with that serve.
Yeah, trying to really control when you're serving. Serving can be one of the most intimidating things you do in volleyball. You're trying to control how hard you want to hit it, where you want it to go, and exactly how hard you want that to go.
Downs to serve for the Knights. And that is misplayed there by Jada Parker. And now the Knights take their first 2-point lead of the evening. And a great play there by Emma Broadbent. Looked like that ball was going to go over the net, but she was able to save it, and Ryan Vell came in for the kill. The Knights now go into this timeout, 20 up ahead, 20-17.
Just even in that last moment that we just saw, you can see how these players, they're really learning how to play with each other. You can see how they know exactly, okay, this is where I want to hit it to. And you can also just see how they're applying what they've done in practice, exactly how they want to execute things. And that's one of the greatest things that a coach can see is when they have these moments with their players and when they start to do it, how they've been working on it. You can see it really apply.
No, absolutely. Even though this is their 8th match of the season, you know, one might think, okay, they've already had 7 opportunities, 7 matches to figure each other out, but we're seeing right before our eyes the communication, they're still working on that. There was a point earlier where I believe it was Talia Quinn and Gracie Fulton. They got a little confused. You know, Gracie called it. Actually, I think it was Ann Downs. And she quickly said she called it, which they had done. And Coach Baker just kind of had to say, okay, well, at least you're communicating right here. That's what we want. And they'll figure that out as the season goes on.
No, exactly. There's so many games and there's so much time really in these seasons to figure out your team and really just know your personnel, exactly how you want to react and how you want to use their talents to succeed.
Absolutely. Downs with the serve. And once again, EMU now struggling a little bit to execute their returns. And that puts the Knights out to a 4-point lead.
Yeah, and one of those things that we can see even that they're struggling with a teensy bit is one of the things about this arena that we lovingly call the barn, is that the ceiling is low. And that if you hit the ball high enough, it's going to hit that ceiling. And most teams are not used to that. Whereas the Knights, that's what they practice with every day.
But they expect it, and it does. It gives a little bit of a different feel to the teams that come in here and have to play with that. Mackenzie Taylor with the hit for EMU, brings them within 3. And there is an excuse me hit by Ryan Vell. Mistimed, misjumped a little bit there, and it went off her fingertips, but had the effect of a changeup in baseball or softball on the defense. So.
No, exactly. You could see the excitement in all the girls' faces right there.
And now the Knights out to a 5-point lead, 23-18. Gracie Fulton on the serve. And another ace
Yeah, something that we have seen tonight, something that we've observed, is off of these serves, the Knights, they're really knowing how to execute where they want to hit it. And unfortunately, EMU, they need to learn, if they want to succeed tonight and really go out with that win, they really need to learn how they're going to take these serves, because we've seen that a lot of these points, a lot of these errors are coming off of serves, and they're coming off sideways hits, kind of.
Yeah, Coach John Baker's kind of figured out where he wants those serves to go. And with that, the Knights score 3 quick points to end the set. 25-18 will be the final in the first set. And the teams will trade sides and get ready for the second set to begin. So finishing up that first set, we talked a little bit, especially early on, so you see the service errors. Southern Virginia ends that set with 5 service errors, EMU with 4. On the flip side, SVU, they had 4 service aces. So, you know, a little bit of give and take there. Looking to be aggressive, you're going to have some errors, but they did come away with 4 aces. EMU not able to pick up any aces in that first set.
Yeah, just as we look at these numbers, that's something you want to be able to use and learn from. You want to obviously have more of those aces versus those errors, because you really want to get that percentage kind of balancing out, or really just obviously higher on your ace side versus your error side. And the Knights, they were able to execute using that. And maybe we'll see more from EMU in the second set if they want to use that as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they pick up their service game a little bit, see if they can pick out a spot that they want to serve to. You know, both teams playing pretty well defensively. That will account for the back and forth that we saw early on. SVU with 9 digs, Eastern Mennonite had 7.
Yeah, those numbers, those are some good numbers, seeing those digs.
Apologize for those technical difficulties. The mics went off there for just a moment. So one thing, you know, Coach Baker, he had said, you know, Coach John Baker, is you want to see them play within the system. And in that first set, SVU comes away with 13 assists. So I would say that's a pretty good stat there that shows that they are in system right there.
No, exactly. I think that's a number that's showing they know how they want to use each other. And we'll see if they can continue to do that in these next few sets, because sometimes it's good you start out strong, knowing where you want to put it, and then sometimes players get selfish. But you want to see how they can continue doing that as it goes on.
So the second set will begin here with the Knights serving. Referee going over the lineups, calling in the liberos for both sides. And serving for the Knights will be Talia Quinn. And a good serve there by Quinn. That ball dropped out of the air right as it came over the net. EMU knocked it around a couple times.
No, exactly. As that came over, like you said, it kind of dropped, but also it was right in that spot that's barely in front of a player.
Quinn unable to get on top of that serve, and that'll sail a little long. And now Jada Parker will go back for the Royals. Service error for the Royals. And now Downs back to serve for the Knights. Free ball for the Knights to handle, and Aubrey Packer. Good block there by the Royals. And ultimately, the dump to the Royal side results in a point for the Knights, and they go out to a 3-1 lead.
No, it looked like there's a little bit of a miscommunication as two of those players were both on the ground trying to get to that ball. Unfortunately, neither one of them were able to.
Ryan Vell with the block. And that's Logan Turchetta scoring the point off the block for the Royals. 4-2, the Knights lead early in the second set. And a good swing there by Emma Broadbent. Scores a point.
Yeah, the Knights, they're really executing how hard they want to hit the ball. You can even see, though, with EMU, they're really hustling. They're trying to get those saves. They're running outside of the court. They're running, you can see them diving, trying to get those digs. Unfortunately, they're not falling for them, but we can see, hopefully, as they continue going forward, maybe they'll get some of those saves.
Big swing there by Packer. And that will score another point for the Knights, take them out to a 6-2 lead. Cece, we're starting to see the Knights offense really click now. I don't know if it's on all cylinders yet, but it's getting there.
No, that momentum, you can see it building.
Good play there by the Royals. Kill by Kenley Smith. And Lindsay Bly. Back out onto the floor, and Custis on to serve.
Looked like there was a 360 in the air.
And Packer with another strong swing off the block and out of bounds for a point going to the Knights.
Those plays right there were really interesting to see. We could see some great defense coming from EMU, as well as some great defense coming from the Knights, but in the end, that offense really came in with the power from the Knights.
Lucy Richens on to serve for the Knights. Sells just a little wide. I think that was a little bit of a miss hit. And Turchetta back to serve for the Royals.
Good hustle right there from the Knights. Really saved that ball from going out.
Another point scored there off the hand of Aubrey Packer as she goes back to serve. And a bad pass there by EMU results in the kill by number 5, Daisy Oviedo. For the Knights, 9-4 now, leading the Royals.
That ball came nice and slow, just like a perfect set for Daisy. She knew exactly how she wanted to hit that and hit that perfectly.
Summer Hahn and Ann Downs team up for the block. Another difficult pass there by the Royals, resulting in the 11th point of this set. Timeout called by the Royals. We'll go ahead and take that. CC has been interesting to watch now. The first, 10 points of the first set, maybe not the most beautiful, the prettiest volleyball that we've seen, but now here to begin the second set, the Knights really seem to be clicking here, both offensively and defensively.
No, exactly. When they start to really do the things that they know that they can do, when you kind of get back into that momentum and get that motion going, you can really see, okay, this is how we set into the game, this is how we set into how we play. Because we've been talking a lot about nerves at the beginning of games. You can see that that's mostly disappeared, and they're just playing their game of volleyball.
Looks like they've kind of settled in here. Excited to see some fans inside Knight Arena, and they've really looks like their confidence is building with every point that they score. Aubrey Packer will go back to serve, hoping to pick up right where she left off. EMU better on the reception of the service. However, Summer Hahn right there in the middle to block their offensive efforts. And the Knights now lead 12-4. Good rally here by both sides. Gracie Fulton able to find that. And then the strong hit from the back row by Aubrey Packer once again.
Yeah, Felicity Jones, she really tried to take that. She looked obviously a little bit disappointed as that went sideways, but you could tell she was ready to receive that hit.
And Downs with the kill and the point for the Knights.
A minute ago, as we were talking about the confidence in these players building up, it's always fun to see once they've gotten into this motion, that once they get those hits going, they're looking at each other, they're just enjoying themselves, having fun. Because you can see Ann Downs, as soon as she had that hit, she just looked at her teammates with a big smile on her face.
Great dig by Fulton. And Ann Downs looking to pay that great defensive play off by Fulton. However, her hit sells a little long. Results in a point for the Royals, and they now trail 5, serving to 14.
Yeah, I think she may or may not have gotten a little bit excited.
Royals pick up another point there.
Something that's always interesting about volleyball is, yeah, you get into this energy, you get this momentum going, but also you don't want to accidentally start falling into bad habits as you play. You always want to be continuing to do what put you forward and put you in that lead, but you don't want to accidentally fall back just because you're getting, maybe not necessarily cocky, but you're just getting too excited with what's going on.
Yet Knights still being aggressive offensively, but has resulted in 3 errors, and Eastern Mennonite scored the last 3 points. And that will end that 3-point streak right there. And Summer Hahn will go back to serve for the Knights, with her side leading 15-7 in this second set. And the quick dump by Emma Rogers scores another point for EMU.
Lucy Richens tried to get a hand on that one, just barely missed that, just barely hitting the ground. You can see all of those Knights kind of gathering together, just waiting for that save to happen, and fortunately it did not.
Definitely caught them by surprise right there. Good Emma Rogers. Lindsay Bly serve, sells long for the Royals.
Checking in for the Knights, number 8, Emma Brockman, and number 1, Talia Quinn.
Talia Quinn back on to the court. She'll go back to serve.
And checking in for the Royals, number 24, Claire Reichenbach. Back to serve for the Knights, number 1, Talia Quinn.
Good serve by Quinn. That results in an ace.
The angle that she hit that at, that came over just barely skirting over the top of the net, kind of catching the Royals a little bit. Not ready for that one.
Yeah, just barely cleared the tape. Another good serve. Good hustle there. Talia Quinn coming all the way up from her service position, chasing that ball, unable to keep it up. And that point will go to the Royals. Cassidy Meadows.
A good serve, just also barely clearing the net.
That time the ceiling here in the barn got to the home team a little bit.
Yep, they weren't quite ready for that one to hit that and come back at the angle that it did.
Good swing there by Emma Broadbent. Another service ace and downs. A little help from the top of the net.
Back to serve.
And EMU will call a timeout. Down 19-10 here in this second set.
Yeah, this is kind of a moment when you want to take a pause, stop that momentum that's going in the Knights' favor, and gather your team, especially EMU wanting to be like, okay, what can we do to stop this? We need to up our defense a little bit. We want to be smart with what we're trying to do with our offense. We need to figure out where exactly we want to go, and we want to kind of reconnect and figure some things out.
A good timeout there called by Coach Steinbrecher. He's in his 6th season at EMU. You know, touching on, we've seen 2 aces out of the last 3 serves here by SVU. They're up to now 8 service aces on the evening. They've had another 4 in this second set with 6 points, still to earn a victory in this set, while they've only had 2 service errors so far in this set. So, first set they had 5 service errors and 4 aces. Now they're kind of starting to turn that around where they have more aces here in the second set than they do errors.
Exactly. You want that ratio to be like that. You want it to be switched with your offensive number being higher than the unfortunate one that's going against you, really. And that being such a big switch, you can see obviously how it's helping them in this set.
Downs back to serve. And misplays the serve on that. Comes back to Emma Broadbent, and the freshman knew exactly what to do with that.
Seeing when the team receives a serve and they all get a little bit scrambled, there's always that little opening in the middle, and she knew, I want to hit it there.
That serve sails a little long, a little adrenaline flowing there for Ann Downs. Emma Rogers to serve for the Royals. And a good little dump there by Talia Quinn. Caught the Royals completely off guard.
I think she was looking to set that one, and it went a little bit too far, but that worked to their advantage.
So another little oops is what you're saying.
Well, I guess it was a good oops.
And Kenley Smith into the net, and that will result in a point for the Knights. 22-11. Knights lead in this second set. Gracie Fulton on the serve. And a good swing by Logan Turchetta. Scores the point for the Royals. She was able to cut that across the court.
A lot of the time when we think about volleyball, we think, okay, it's just hitting the ball over the net and trying to get the ball to hit your opponent's side on the ground, like the Knights just did. But one of the things you always have to be careful. A few minutes ago, some of these AMU players ran into the net. You always want to be careful that you land on your side and you're not running into the net, because it affects so much. And it's something that you don't really think about, but it does affect the game itself.
Absolutely. Good point there. And Emma Broadbent with another good swing. Ruby Blaymeyers checks into the match. Jumped the gun on the serve there.
You could hear some of the students in the crowd at the arena. Good serve, good serve.
And great effort there by Felicity Jones, but that will fall to the ground, and the Knights are now at set point, 24-12.
Yeah, that was a good hustle from EMU in the deeper end of the court, really trying to keep that ball in, especially from preventing it from hitting the basketball hoop at the other end.
And an ace for Blaymeyers. Once again, the Knights close out the second set on an ace. So we'll go ahead and take this timeout as the teams will exchange sides, and the Knights lead 2-0. We'll be right back with the third set. Welcome back, everybody, into Knight Arena as Eastern Mennonite and Southern Virginia University get ready to start the third set. The Knights currently lead 2-0. And Cece, we talked a little bit about that second set. Looked like the Knights really started to get their confidence and started to get more comfortable with one another out on the floor.
Yeah, in that first set, it took a little minute because both of these teams, they were going back and forth, really battling it out. But in that second set, like you were saying, the Knights, they just took off and they ran with it.
EMU starts with the serve. Knights with the free ball. And that goes out of bounds. That'll be a point for EMU. So they start out scoring the first point on their own serve.
That ball unfortunately went a little bit waywards off of Mackenzie Taylor's hand. You could tell she looked not the happiest with how that went off.
And Downs back to serve for the Knights. And Aubrey Parker with a second opportunity, able to go off the block and score the point for the Knights.
That was a really good motion between both of these teams. Just the volley going back and forth. Each of these teams getting those 3 hits off and really trying to get that point.
Great serve there by Downs with another ace. And that's a point for the Royals. Good offense by the Royals to score that point.
You can see even the confidence in some of these players for EMU and the Royals. You can see their confidence also building up. They're getting excited again. They're really getting, okay, let's get this going because this is the third set. If we don't win this set, then we're going home.
Emma Broadbent with another kill.
Summer Hahn comes back in and she's joining the Knights. She's one of these players that we've seen so far through these few games that has made a large impact. She's brought this energy and this hype, and she knows what she wants to do.
Misplayed by the Knights. Sets up Cece, and she just batted it away.
Into someone else's face, unfortunately.
Emma Broadbent, that is her 8th kill of the evening. Both her and Aubrey Packer now have 8 kills.
Both of them have come in and they're here to play. They know exactly what they want to do. And like you just said, that many kills having in just tonight is something that they're going to want to continue to do the rest of this season.
Aubrey Packer on the block, but unfortunately directed it just wide. And the Royals have battled back. They now trail just by 1. 5-4. And as you were saying, Cece, the Royals, they want to come in. They're down 2-0. They want to see if they can get something going here and battle to the end as they now tie it up 5-5.
No, that's what we love to see from both of these teams when they put up that fight and they're not ready to go down without it.
Lindsay Bly with the serve.
Looks like there may not have been a little bit of a miscommunication between the Knights, seeing as someone wasn't quite ready to receive that set and really get it over.
So EMU battles back. They now go ahead 6-5. Bly with the serve. A little help from the tape. Knights recover though and are able to get it over, and they're going to score as a Royal was into the net.
Yeah, the surprise on some of the Knights' faces. They just all looked at each other and they're like, we'll take it.
Good defense again by the Royals, and the block there by Summer Hahn.
There were some strong hits from both teams at that, just in that minute right there. So that was some great defense, really, to end that off. Because that's the thing, you got to have good defense. You can have really strong offense, but if you don't have the defense that's going to prevent the other team from scoring, then you can't really do anything.
And get Summer Hahn into the net, so that'll be a point for the Royals.
Point goes back to the Royals. Back to serve number 9, Jada Parker.
A little bit of good fortune there for the Knights. Weren't quite sure if they were going to get an opportunity to set that, and Eastern Mennonite wasn't ready for it when it just cleared the net.
Yeah, just barely skimmed down that inside part of it on EMU's side. I don't think they really realized that it was going to be that close either.
So tough play there for the Royals. And there is Emma Rogers with the kill for the Royals.
It's fun to see. So this is our third set. At the beginning of the first set, when both of these teams were battling back and forth, you could tell there was a little bit of timidness, that kind of nervousness that we were talking about. But now you can see the energy and the excitement and confidence from both of these teams. They're playing hard now.
Definitely the level of volleyball has improved since the first, the early stages of that first set.
No, exactly.
And Ryan Vell with a strong kill for the Knights. And Emma Broadbent goes up once again, the beneficiary of a long pass from the Royals, just clearing the net.
That one just snuck over, she just barely tipped it, went in at the perfect angle.
Royals unable to return the serve. And that allows the Knights to head out to an 11-8 lead now here in this third set. Emma Broadbent, another kill. That takes her into double figures on the match with 10.
We can even just see, there's another timeout obviously happening. We can see that momentum going again in the Knights' favor and how they're getting their energy up again and what they're gonna do. It's always interesting to see exactly how after these timeouts, each of these teams respond and how they continue with the momentum or whether or not, or if they don't continue with that momentum.
No, absolutely. It's always a struggle. There's a timeout. Obviously Eastern Mennonite takes that timeout to try and stop the momentum. It'll be interesting to see, if they can come out a little bit more intense and if it does anything at all to, pull back the momentum from the Knights. Real quick check on the stats once again. The assists, that's something I keep looking at tonight since Coach Baker talked about playing within the system. 28 assists for the Knights, 17 for the Royals.
No, exactly. That number in itself is going to do so much because when you have these assists going, when you get your team working with each other, that's when you have this success. Because if you're not really hitting the ball to each other, you're not going to really accomplish much. But when you get it going, you can get the flow, and then your team knows where they want it to go, really.
No, absolutely. That assist number flow, that's a good point right there, Cece, is the assist will show the type of flow that they have on that offensive side. Emma Broadbent having a night here in the barn.
She came in and hammered that down. That play right there sent most of the students at SVU just in a frenzy.
It even got Coach Debbie Baker up off the bench. She's excited about the night her freshman's having.
That right there was a moment that SVU was having where they were just going back. They were just hammering that in. And that was really just Ann Downs right there. She was like, I'm going to hammer this in right there.
And another ace by Quinn right off the tape. And unfortunately for EMU, the timeout wasn't able, didn't do much to stop the momentum of the Knights. A little long on the serve by Talia Quinn. So Mackenzie Taylor will enter the match and go back to serve. Her team trails by 6 in this third set.
And Downs came in on that one with a little too much power, but you could see even in the ball that it had a little bit of side spin on it. And I don't know if that's what she meant to do, but sometimes receiving a ball that has that much spin on it is going to send it somewhere that you don't want it to go.
And into the net. The referee calls on the Knights. So that is another point. So Mackenzie Taylor has come in for the Royals and been able to score a couple points on the serve. And the Knights have seen enough of that, so they go back to the freshman, Emma Broadbent, and she responds with another kill.
Some of the best things about team sports is when you are working with your teammate and you can see that they're hot or they're doing really good tonight, you know you want to keep giving it to them because they're hot. You want them to succeed, and that's going to help you as a team succeed, and that's what the Knights are doing.
It's always good to go back to the teammate that's got the hot hand, right?
Exactly.
And Ann Downs with another ace. A little long on that one. Knights now up 2. 13 service aces on the evening and just 10 errors. That'll be the 8th service error for the Royals on the evening. And now Gracie Fulton back to serve for the Knights as they lead 18-12 in the third set. Fulton tries to pin them up against the back line. It sails just too far.
To serve number 1, Emerson Moats.
Emerson Moats with the serve for EMU. Aubrey Packer gets a good swing in at it. And then Lindsay Bly, check that. Cassidy Meadows is able to send a good shot to the corner for the Royals.
Yeah, she did a really good job seeing that that spot was open on the court as none of the Knights were currently standing in that area.
Great serve by Moats. And that'll be the 4th ace of the evening for the Royals.
Now we can see the score slowly kind of trickling closer and closer as the Royals, they're building that back up. They're really trying. They're like, we're going to keep playing tonight.
Good defense by the Royals, keeps that point alive. And Meadows, once again, going to look for a spot, unable to get it open over the net. And the Knights, Lucy Richens enters the game. She'll go back to serve. So far tonight, Lucy does not have an ace. She's looking, see if she can notch one right here. Good defense by Summer Hahn.
The Knights really keep that one alive.
And too many hits by the Royals. Point will go to the Knights, 20-15.
I think this is kind of the time when the Royals really want to get together, and probably Coach Steinbrecher really to think, okay, it's 20 points, we're at 15. What do we need to do to get those 10 more points? What do we need to do to prevent the Knights from doing that in order so we can keep playing here tonight?
Great defense by the Knights. Keep that point going. EMU now sends it over, and Summer Hahn with the hit. It sails long, but the blocker for EMU was in the net, so point SVU.
Yeah, that's one of these hard things about volleyball. As we've mentioned, kind of, you want to avoid the net, but they're kind of like unnecessary mistakes that you want to prevent from happening. The mistakes you want, I mean, you obviously don't want to have mistakes, but they're inevitable. But the mistakes you want are when you're hitting it into the net versus you don't want to run into it yourself.
No, that's never what you want to see happen, is when you just run into the net. That means, no matter what the outcome of the hit, the point, you lose that just for that contact. Jordan Jensen, freshman out of Brea, California, makes her first appearance here this evening. Summer Hahn again with a block, slows it down. Aubrey Packer goes up for the kill.
Something that the SVU, that Southern Virginia, they're really good at is capitalizing the moments when they see those open spots on the other side of the court. They know that their other team, they're scrambling, and they know exactly when they want to hit it at that certain angle, and they've been able to do that really well tonight.
Another long rally between the two teams. Aubrey Packer goes up strong, but Lindsay Bly is there for the block. The Royals
really decided to put up a wall at that moment. They're like, you're not passing anymore.
One of the stronger swings of the evening there, but Lindsay Bly goes up and puts it down and puts an end to that rally. She's back to serve, and just a little long, and that will bring us to match point here. Knights 1 point away, and Brooklyn Madeline in to serve. And that will do it. An ace to end the evening, and the Knights will take game set number 3, 25-16, and they will end up with the sweep on the evening. So they started out maybe a little slow tonight, CC, but they really grew into the game as the night went on.
No, Exactly. Kind of shaky at the beginning, but they really, they warmed up, like you're saying. They're able to see, okay, this is what we need to do, this is what we're good at, and really able to see the weak spots and how they could capitalize on that and take advantage of those.
No, the Knights really, organize themselves defensively. That's what I saw in the beginning of that first set, was a little bit of miscommunication on defense, but they really, seemed to correct that as the night went on, and ultimately came away with a pretty dominating victory over the Royals.
No, exactly. You always want to learn from those mistakes and say, okay, how are we going to apply this and make it better?
So with that final kill that Aubrey Packer had at the end, Aubrey Packer goes with 12 kills on the night. That tied her with Emma Broadbent, the freshman, having a great evening here tonight. So those two lead the way as far as kills go. And also,
that's exactly what you want to do. You're on your home court, but also you're just at the beginning of your college career. Like these freshmen, they're not afraid. They're coming to play. They come out here, they're on the court, and they know exactly what they want to do.
Yep, good to see strong performances by so many of these freshmen. Talia Quinn, she had 10 assists on the evening. She was outdone by Lucy Richens with 11. So maybe a little bit of a quiet night there for Lucy Richens, but she ends up with 11 assists on the night. So, Talia Quinn, she's a freshman. Lucy Richens, she's a freshman. And also Emma Broadbent, all great evenings by the three of them. And there were other freshmen that joined in as well tonight. So overall, a great evening, a good kickoff to the volleyball season here in the barn. A lot of pride in the volleyball programs, men's and women's, here at SVU. So congratulations to the SVU women's volleyball team. Grab Emma Broadbent, number 8, right there, talking to Betis. Are you comfortable interviewing her? Yeah? Okay. I'll give her mine, you interview. So we're going to have the freshman, Emma Broadbent, join us here for a quick interview. So I'm going to give her my headset. Cece, go ahead, take it away.
Yes, tonight, Emma, you had a night tonight. So many kills, so many moments where you've taken advantage of it. And I mean, you're a freshman here. You're like new, but how are you using what you've learned as a volleyball player to impact SVU volleyball?
I think just coming here, the coaches are like absolutely great. They're just helping me learn my skills so much and help me tweak things, just to make my volleyball skill set better.
Yeah, exactly. There's always so much that you can learn, but what is something that I guess you would say that you've learned thus far while you're here at SVU?
Thus far, I've just learned that being a team player is what's really important. On our whiteboard in the locker room, it says Mudita, and it's just like the feeling of the happiness for others, like if someone else succeeds, like just picking them up. And I feel like I've learned that I'll play better if I'm just hyping my teammates up.
Yeah, I love that. It's really the assist. It's really working with people. I mean, that's how that's how you guys succeed. That's how sports, that's really how you grow. But what do you want to do in the future as these games go forward? This is the first home game here at the barn. What do you hope to do in future games?
In future games, I just hope to continue what I have done this game. I mean, just like helping this team this year leave a legacy and like help add to the legacy that past teams have had. I think that's just my main goal.
I love that. Thank you so much. You had such a good game tonight.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully continue to do that, and best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Yes, and this year we hope to see so much more from SVU, and we're excited to see what these girls can bring, as there's so much skill on this team and they have so much potential.
Great job. Great job tonight, Emma. Great job, Cece, with the interview. Want to once again thank everybody for joining us on Night Broadcasting. Remind you to please like, comment, subscribe. And join us tomorrow night as the Knights men's soccer team will take on Eastern Mennonite men's soccer team in up at the fields. For CC Bands, I'm Colby Kemp. We want to thank the entire broadcast team and wish everybody a good evening. And as always, go Knights.